Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Cricket Analyst. I'm your host Rishabh Jain, and what a win we have had today. India has won the first Test match in Cape Town in the history of Test cricket, and I'm very delighted with the performance of India today because India has done really, really well this morning by getting South Africa out early. Not out like it's not that early, but Aiden Markram played a magnificent inning, I think, and the century he scored was really necessary for South Africa to at least put some pressure on India while they were chasing the score. But I would hats off to Bumrah because he has done exceptionally well this time. He helped Mohammed Siraj like he's performed like an supported actor in the first innings, helping Siraj to take his six for. But this time, Siraj became the supporting actor to Bumrah to take help him his sixer, and he has been such a really great bowler. Bumrah. He has taken three fifers in South Africa, two in West Indies, one each in India and Australia. And you can't get enough of this bowler because whenever he comes back from an injury, he just comes in and performs like magnificent. Like you have to watch this play every time he bowls, and Bumrah has proved why he's a valuable asset to the team. And if we talk about some stats, so Bumrah took his fifer in South Africa. But with that being said, what about Mohammed Siraj, who took his fourth fifer in Test cricket? And not only that, he helped India to create a difference in the first innings because if his support wouldn't have been there in the first innings, I don't think so. He would have performed anywhere like near where what he performed in the first innings, and like getting out South Africa in the first innings for 55. I think that was the main difference which was created in this Test match because the batting pitch became much more better in like in the second innings when even India was batting and it was still challenging, but the ball was coming onto the bat nicely, and I think there has been a lot of chat about like why the pitch has so much bounce and pace, but it's I think for the best because we don't want to see a game which anyway like it wrapped up in 2 days, but we don't want to watch a match which wraps up in 5 days and does not have a result and does not have a good cricket. And even eventually the match is called off because of the bad pitch. But this pitch was pretty good because it was pacey and bouncy like the typical South African pitch we always want to see in South Africa, not like a pitch where only spinners are coming into the action. And if we see, if we talk about some stats here, so this was India's fifth test victory in South Africa. So in like 7 tours they have done, they have only won only five test matches, and that's a statement I think because India is trying to make sure that even if they have leveled the series, not won the series, they have leveled the series 1-1. They have that chance of making things uh, in their favor and ending this tour on a high because they lost the ODI series, but they won the T20I series and uh, sorry, the other way around. Sorry, the other way around. And I think this has been a roller coaster for India in this tour because they've got a lot of positives and negatives, which I will be talking about later in this live. But if we talk about some stats, so this was the shortest test matches of all time in this sense because in 642 balls the match ended, and only 642 balls were bowled in this whole test match in these, I would say, 1.5 days. The test match got over, so I think this is the shortest completed test matches by balls bowled. And then if we talk about, as I told you, India has won their fifth test match and their first test match in Cape Town, and it is the biggest margins for India and Sena countries by wickets. Like they have not won any matches at all with the big margin because the last match they won was in Australia when they won the match by 8 wickets, and in Melbourne, where Ajinkya Rana scored a magnificent, a big century, and that match India won very easily. So that was the only match where they last won by 8 wickets, and now they have won by 7 wickets in Cape Town in 2024. So I think this is one of the biggest things which we have to look at. And if I tell you about more of the stats, which are, just give me a sec. Yeah. So the other stats I've got here is it is the lowest match aggregate against India in both innings all out. If you take both innings in all out, in 231 is the lowest match aggregate against India, which has happened in this test match. And the last one, the one before this one was in 2021, where New Zealand scored 229 runs against India. So I think this has been one of the major, I would say, things to look at. And then if we talk about what has Dean Elgar has said in this test match. So he said a tough one for us, pretty positive coming into this game. India bowled fantastically and used the conditions. Still a lot of positives for the young players that we have within the side. 2-0 would have been really nice as he was ending his test career on a high. But the way the bowlers bowled in the series and the way Aiden batted in the second innings is something out of the world. It was a bit of a ripper. He is talking about the pitch. It was a bit of a ripper. Naked eye, it looked like it's going to be a nice one, but it played totally different to what everyone thought. As I told you, the pitch had really good bounce and pace, and that's because it's a typical Cape Town pitch and it had rained a couple of days back. So that was because that was why the pitch was quite pacey and bouncy because the moisture got into it. And then if we talk, and he said in the ending lines that we were on the receiving end, big learning curve for us. If you ask Rohit, we had batted first, and they just outskilled us in that first session. So as I told you, I think the first session made the difference in the test match. If South Africa wouldn't have gotten out for 55, they would have still been in the match and they could have defended the 79-run target they had set. It could have been more because if they would have ended up on 200 to 230 in the first innings, I think South Africa would have bowled out India the way they were bowling in the second innings, and the later wickets we lost. I think that was the main thing. And Mohammed Siraj is the man of the player of the match. He has said, It's my best test figures. I tried to be consistent and hit the right area. I wasn't consistent in the previous match, and that's why we leaked a lot of runs. Worked hard on consistency and tried to be relentless with my lengths. When we play together, he's talking about Bumrah, gets the message earlier. We try to analyze the wicket quicker. So Bumrah has been a really supporting uh, player to Siraj. He's the pack of the leader of the attack. But I think Siraj has grown immensely under Bumrah. The way he has mentored him from his first Test match in Melbourne or anything like that. Uh, Siraj has been a big player because of Bumrah giving him that uh, bit of his experience, and I think Siraj uh, will prove to become one of the greatest fast bowlers as well in Test cricket. The way he's bowling as well. And if we talk about what Rohit Sharma has said, Rohit Sharma would be saying like, what would be Rohit Sharma saying? Because Rohit Sharma would have thought like they could have batted first, but I think it's a blessing in disguise that they bowled first and they bowled really well. And I think India deserved this win, and they deserved every bit of it, like how they played the series. and Dean Elgar is the player of the series, and he has said, "I would like to, I would have liked to do more in this game. Still very proud of my performance I had in Centurion. Managed to contribute to a winning cause. Some really tough conditions throughout." So, as you can remember, Dean Elgar's innings in the Centurion Test match where he scored 185 and took South Africa to a score above 400 plus. And I think that has been the major, that was the major play in the first Test match where India lost the grip on that, and they didn't do, I think, not well. Like eventually they lost a Test match, but I didn't think India could have done much anything better than that in that Test match. But if we see, if we talk about the first Test match, let's talk about the first Test match again. In Centurion, India, let me just bring up the scores and everything, and we can just chat on this one. So, yeah. So, as I was saying, India, India was forced to bat in the first innings. Let me just bring it up. Yeah. So India was forced to bat in the first innings, and they did not do well with the top order. Virat Kohli and Shreyas Iyer did pretty well, but apart from that, KL Rahul came in and played a classy innings. Because of that, India prevented a shameful loss. But if I talk about how did they do in the second innings, it's a question mark. And let me just see. Yeah, yeah. So if we talk about the first test match now, which has been a talking point for like last 2 3 days before this test match. So India was forced to bat, as I told you, forced to bat on day one, and they scored. They posted a score of 245 with a classy KL Rahul innings, and because of that, India reached 245. But apart from that, I think selection of Prasidh Krishna has been quite a controversial decision since Rohit Sharma has tried to show some support and confidence in him, but Prasidh Krishna has not been able to perform at all. And because of that, because of the lack of, I think, plans and the bullets have the skill anyway, but because I think because implementing the plans had been a very big mistake. They did not implement the plans properly. So I think because of that, India had to pay the price of taking South Africa to 408, where Daniel got straight for 287 balls, scoring 185 runs. And apart from that, Marco Hansen came in the end and hit a gritty 84, and because of that, South Africa reached 408. But Bumrah took 4 wickets in that. He bowled pretty well, but apart from that, Siraj leaked a lot of runs. Thakur was not on his A game. Prasidh Krishna disappointed on his debut, and Ashwin did pretty well by controlling the run rate. But apart from that, no one can do anything. No one could do anything against South Africa in the first test. But when we come to the second innings, India fell miserably. India fell miserably because This was we were not expecting like India. We were expecting India will at least finish the lead and then finish the trail and then go on to make a lead, but nothing of that sort happened. And I could only see Virat Kohli's 76, which was the only point where India did something. But apart from that, India gave easy wickets to Rabada, Nandre Berger, and Marco Hansen. And India lost the match by an innings and 32 runs. And that's, I think, where the India lost their dream of, I think, winning the Test series in South Africa. And they started well last time they visited South Africa, but after that, I don't think India has been able to pull up their socks and do anything like that. And if we talk about the negatives and positives from this Test match, so one of the biggest, if we talk about the positives, Siraj has been really good. He has got his form back. Bumrah has been always excellent in South Africa and he has done pretty well in this tour. So he has been a big positive as well, helping India to take the win in Cape Town. And then if we talk about Virat Kohli has been really good in this series. The innings he played, because he did not get any support from the other side, but the innings he played in the first innings as well was really good. And in the second innings of Centurion Test, where he scored a 76, I think that was a game changer as well. In this Test match, he was not able to do much because there was not enough support in the first innings, and eventually India got all out for 153. So Virat Kohli has been a big positive by the intent he has showed. One of the biggest positives I have found is if you see Mukesh Kumar. Mukesh Kumar has been amazing. Mukesh Kumar has been amazing with the ball, with the bowling he has done in this Test match by taking 2 wickets in the first innings, and he bowled really well. Like he has shown the composure which we want to see in a bowler in Test matches by putting the ball on the right areas all the time, making the batsman play, making the batsman miss the ball, and just swinging the ball, seaming the ball all around, and getting the wickets which are needed at the time. And Mukesh Kumar has done really, really well in this Test match, and he has proved why like he could have been a better choice ahead of Prasidh Krishna in Centurion, because Centurion pitch could have assisted Mukesh Kumar more than Prasidh Krishna, because Prasidh Krishna is a hit the deck bowler and Mukesh Kumar is a kind of a bowler who makes the batsman play all the time and gets the batsman engaged all the time. So I think Mukesh Kumar has been a really big positive in this Test match with the way he has bowled and with the way he took wickets early this morning, where he got, I would tell you the wickets. So he got 2 wickets in this innings as well, where he bowled amazingly. And Mukesh Kumar has been a big positive. And now, when we come to the negatives, I think one of the negatives will be to look at his Indian batting order. And especially if we see Yashasvi Jaiswal and Shubman Gill and even Rohit Sharma has not been able to perform at all in this Test series. Like in 4 innings, they have not been able to pull up any runs. And especially Yashasvi Jaiswal, like the player he is, like the flashy player he is, I think he has not been able to perform at a level we were expecting him to. But I think he has been a bigger disappointment in this series because he played his first Test match in, like he played his first Test series in West Indies, where where the conditions are not that bad, and he did pretty good by scoring a 171 in his Test debut. But apart from that, I think he has not been able to perform at all. And this Test series will prove to be like a mirror for him to just look at like what has he done in this Test match and this Test series, to just have a look and see where he stands in the Test arena and how his selection will be impacted when India will be playing England in 5 Test matches in February. So this is one of the big negatives I can see. Shuman Gill Again, very casual in his approach. He did not look in his form the way he was in 2023. He was one of the highest run getters in ODI cricket. Even in Test cricket, he was pretty decent, but he has not been able to score at all. I can say, and he has to perform because the next series is against England and India, and to see the selection of Shubman Gill and Yashasvi Jaiswal, they need to perform. Like I think they need to pull up their socks and perform in that series, because if they don't perform in that series, they are gone. One of them is definitely gone. Like India will start to look at other options like Ruturaj Gaikwad and any other players, but they have not been able to score runs in this series. This was their first Test series in South Africa. That's understandable, but you need to perform at least decent so that you can make your case for the series ahead. And another negative is Prasidh Krishna. I think the timing of Prasidh Krishna was wrong. He could have been kept on waiting for a little bit more period, because he had just came from an injury and he was not playing cricket at his best. So I think Mukesh Kumar could have waited out. Prasidh Krishna could have waited out a little bit more, and they could have tried Mukesh Kumar in the first test, and I think it might have changed the game for them, because Mukesh Kumar in this test match, the way he has performed, I think he has done equally well as Bumrah, as Siraj, and his importance was felt by, I would say, India. And Prasidh Krishna needs to get more experience, needs to play more Ranji Trophy in order to get into the rhythm of red ball if he wants to be even considered for a selection in a series against England. And if we talk about the last negative which I found was not adapting to the situation in South Africa. Like Rohit Sharma gave an excuse like we don't play practice matches because they are not good enough. It's not about you. The match, the test, the practice matches you play are good, not good enough. It's about playing in that playing in that conditions and get used to those conditions like they did for the second test match by training 3 days in a row and proving that yeah, we are there and we are going to train hard, we are going to make an impact. So I think India could have practiced and trained better before the first test match, but apart from that I don't see any negatives for the Indian test match side in South Africa. And if we talk about what's ahead, India is going to play three T20 matches against Afghanistan, and the I think the T20 squad will be announced in like next 2 days. So India would be looking at that. Who will be the captain? Who will be the main players playing the games? Because Surya Kumar Yadav is out with an ankle injury, and who will replace him? Who will cover his spot? That's all we have to see. So I think that's ahead of India, and then there is a five-test match series against England starting from 25 January. So that's again a big series to look at for in terms of World Test Championship. If India wants to qualify for the finals again, they should be doing pretty well in that series. That's it for me right now. From me right now, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, share this live chat, and I would be doing more of these in the upcoming times. But that's all for now, and keep subscribing, keep living, and let's make this family of cricket the cricket analyst a touch 2000, and keep supporting, keep loving, and I will be back your host Rishabh Jain. Thank you for that, and see you in the next video and my next live chat. Thank you.